Thursday, gentlemen.
Yeah.
And that's our show, folks. See ya.
Yeah. We are back. How are you gentlemen doing tonight?
Ask me in about 30 minutes. I'm here to tell you.
Oh.
You waiting for something to kick in, or?
I'm waiting for something to kick out.
You know,
Really?
ready to.
Yeah, ready to.
How are you, Joseph?
I'm ready for whatever comes in the next hour.
We'll have to wait and see. As will the beautiful people.
Yeah.
Kurt? Oh, we're signing in. That was a 7:33 p.m. message. It went live. Hopefully, Kurt, you're still with us.
That's dedication, Kirk.
That is. He's got that notification.
I won.
Juan, welcome.
7:34.
Mr. Beefy.
Beefy.
We've got a first-time viewer here.
Hello.
Welcome.
Welcome.
You like what you see? Stay around for the promotion.
Boys, it's been an eventful week in wrestling. We've got a lot of wrestling to look ahead.
Yeah.
Joe's favorite event is coming up this weekend.
Bash in Berlin.
No mercy.
I was talking about No Mercy.
All ego,
What do you
baby.
do?
All ego.
One of your favorite video games of all time. So
The one time I'm rooting for, the one time I'm rooting for Canada.
The one time. You've rooted for Canada more than once.
But this time more than ever. This time means something.
Oh, it hasn't meant anything in the past. I'm worried, but will you guys be watching No Mercy this weekend?
yes.
I'm looking forward to it,
Always.
especially with the main event for the NXT title. I hope, since we're talking about Canada, Jones, if it happens,
If it happens, somebody's going to have to wake me up.
shows up.
Because I'm going to be done. I'm going to be completely unconscious if that happens.
Imagine you get that match in NXT.
Oh,
Of all places.
don't get my hopes up, Joey.
Just saying. I mean,
Well, hey, wait a minute. It's not at all possible because considering Emergence is tomorrow night.
It is.
Joe could initiate this. He could call Josh on Friday. Turnabout's fair play.
no. Josh is not going to cost Ethan at No Mercy.
No. I'm not saying Ethan.
No.
I'm saying Joe could cause
Josh.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
And
And then Josh can cause.
cause Joe
Yeah.
Oh
on
my!
Sunday.
Yeah.
When you put it like that, I got to clear up my schedule tomorrow night, and I've got to watch. What a weekend of wrestling, gentlemen!
But I guess we usually go in order. So
We do.
I guess we'll jump into last Sunday. This past Sunday. Let's go all in.
Let's go all in. The takeaway from the shows. Some of our predictions were right.
I got 2 out of 3 return debuts. Not in the right spots, but I got them to show up.
I don't know how anyone can say that this event was better than last year's All In. Am I wrong?
No, this was like, okay, shoot me if you must. People may be mad about this. This felt like SummerSlam 92.
Oh, wait, hold on. Sorry. I'm slacking.
2 to 3 great
No.
matches. The rest was filler.
Jones, I agree wholeheartedly with you. And I'm not just saying that because you're the head of the meat. I was falling asleep for most of this show. Other than the two main events with MJF and Ospreay and Swerve and Danielson, I didn't care.
The women's championship match was actually good.
I'm glad Mariah May won.
I was surprised she won.
I am too. But it didn't do it for me. I don't know how anyone can say it was better than last year's. Joe, what are your thoughts, man?
So I didn't watch the pay-per-view. I was busy putting a computer desk for my mom, being a good son that I am, But I did read a lot on it. I did watch MJF and Ospreay highlights and also Bryan Danielson and Swerve's highlights. I couldn't care less about anything else.
You didn't miss much. Let's be frank. I don't want us to get the reputation that we just shit on AEW every week or every time we go live, but it's kind of hard not to. Jones, how many matches were on that card again? 9?
10 and 1 on the pre-show.
One on the pre-show.
Actually, didn't they add another one to the pre-show?
They might have added one.
Whatever it was, there might have been 2 matches on the pre-show.
It was a very long pay-per-view. I don't know about you guys. Joe, you were the good son that you are, putting together that computer. Yes, for your mom. I don't know who has the time to sit through an entire pay-per-view that's like 5-6 hours long.
If you give me a entire pay-per-view that's really good, like a Wrestle Kingdom type show, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
However, this isn't that type
You don't want a WrestleMania 2000 all day?
No. I almost gave up wrestling because of that.
Those are some dark times. Oh, man. But let's sorry, Joe.
No, I was going to say, funny because you're talking about AEW and all those matches and how long it is. It's like WWE's kind of doing the opposite. Like, didn't Triple H say that on these regular PLEs that are not the big shows, it's not going to be as long?
Well, technically, I guess this would be the WrestleMania. Actually, it should be Double or Nothing, but
yeah. I think because it's at Wembley or because it's a stadium show, I think this is their WrestleMania at this point in time. It used to be Double or Nothing, but 55,000 people in attendance approximately for this year. It's still down 30%.
But they didn't even they had a stage this time, so it was a little different.
Yeah.
So they didn't expect the same type of crowd automatically by incorporating a stage.
That's true. I still don't think this show was as good as last year's, but maybe I'm slightly biased. I still think the card last year was better from top to bottom.
There was a lot of matches on here I would have thrown away, but that's just me.
How much does Wembley hold?
It had 80 something last year.
I think it's a 90,000 plus.
90,000,
yeah. Now, granted, depending on how the setup, the stages, floor seating, things like that, you can squeeze in here and there. But yeah, it's a 90,000 person stadium.
And how many were in attendance?
This year, approximately 55,000.
Okay, so
last year was. Now, remember, there's a whole
allegedly.
The alleged numbers. But what did Ospreay's tattoo say? The numbers were kind of
But both companies exaggerate, so I can't.
I think SummerSlam was like 57,000.
There were over 80,000 last year. Over 75 for sure.
So here's the thing. WWE goes to Wembley, London for Mania.
Oh. If Mirabito's watching, he's just waiting for Ticketmaster to go live.
Well, what I'm saying, getting at is, will WWE, what will their
Over combined nights, it'll be 150 at minimum.
Yeah.
Minimum.
Now, would they do 2 nights if it's at Wembley?
Yeah.
And what time will they put it on?
Probably be in the early day. Our
It'll be
time.
good for those watching elsewhere.
Like Mr. Beaton says in the comments, they were advertising Forbidden Door 2025 and All In 2026 at Wembley. That's right. All In next year is going to be in Texas, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. And now Forbidden Doors after All In.
So they're moving around the pay-per-view lineup a little bit. But overall, just looking back on the card, first match of the night was the Patriarchy, which is Christian Cage, Killswitch, and Nick Wayne versus the Bang Bang Gang versus
Bang,
House of
bang,
Black
gang.
versus do we call it the Blackpool Combat Club? I guess Claudio and Wheeler and Pac.
Yeah, since Pac calls Lucha Brothers.
they're allegedly WWE bound, but Jones,
Pre-show or bust.
yeah.
However, it's set up for something later on that I did enjoy. But
Talk to me.
remember, they teased a breakup between Killswitch, Luchasaurus, whatever you want to call them, and Christian Cage.
Dino douche.
Yes. Teased that breakup, so therefore later on, it made you think they was really broken up.
I just hope it actually happens.
You know where they're going to go with that story, don't you?
Which story?
Christian Cage and Killswitch.
Edge returns. I'm sorry, Adam Copeland.
No. I think we're going a little farther down the card here, but I think Killswitch is going to beat Christian for a certain title down the road.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Interesting.
That could be a good payoff.
It sounds too logical to me. And I say that not to put down what you said, Joe, is to put down AEW's booking. That's the smart thing to do. Somebody give Joe a job with AEW creative, please.
The way they're going, with this, the tease and like.
I hope so. I hope that's the direction that they go. But that's if they do go in that direction, like you said, that's a long time from now.
Yeah.
And then Jones, if Adam Copeland returns, if and when, and fingers crossed that he's healthy and he's able to get back and end his career on his own terms, I can see them also actually fulfilling both stories.
Jones saying All In 2025 Adam Copeland versus Christian for the...
Never say never.
That's going to put a lot of butts in seats.
Yeah, almost guarantee a belt for me.
For those of you who watch the show or are unaware, the Blackpool Combat Club and Pac did win that. And they are the new Trios champion. Claudio finally gets an AEW title.
Wow, yeah.
That's his first AEW title. I'm not talking about Ring of Honor or whatever it is today. It's his first AEW title. I'm happy for him because I do love Claudio. I've always enjoyed him. I've been following his career for a long time, but a little too late for him to get his first belt, in my opinion. But nevertheless, we'll see where it goes with this Trios division. It's not doing it for me. Where do they go from here?
Down.
Can you go lower than where they're at?
We'll just put any team together as a trio. Hey, you're a tag team. We're not doing nothing with you.
I still think putting Pac with Claudio and Wheeler it doesn't make much sense.
Because you got Pac going after Ospreay now.
That's right.
It's like,
And now he's getting a title match with Ospreay for the international title after he just won the trios title. So we'll get into more of the discrepancies and the illogical booking of AEW throughout the show. But Jones, I believe the next match was one of your favorites, and that was for the women's title up next.
Yep. Mariah May versus the seemingly unbeatable Toni Storm.
Timeless Toni Storm. It was Mariah's time, but I didn't think it was going to happen, to be honest. They swerved me a bit.
How'd they swerve you?
if I can have Mariah May right here and Tiffany Stratton right here and me in the middle, my life may be complete.
Just have a Joey sandwich.
So I said that sounds like Joey time instead of Tiffany.
That's definitely not Tiffy time. Oh, especially when she showed up on
Slapped her mom.
Dynamite. I was just saying on Dynamite this week, and she took off her robe, and she was quite revealing when she showed off the brand new AEW Women's title that was on her waist. I'm glad you're sitting down, Joe. But any thoughts about the match, Jones, Joe?
Good, very good women's match.
Certainly much better than the other women's match.
Mm-hmm. Very much so.
Moving on.
Juan. A Juan and a pole.
I'm sorry to disappoint Juan and Mr. Beefy tonight. I don't have any gifs or videos or stills of some of the attractions that you tune in weekly. You hope flash on your screen, and then you guys disappear for a little bit and then come back. I'm sorry, none of that tonight. So hopefully we don't lose you as a viewer. But I wanted to be fully transparent. And we're gonna get to that in a little bit.
Now, as far as Toni was good, probably had one of the better reigns as a women's champion in AEW thus far. Like, because she just made you believe.
I'm just an intern. I can't be fired. I'm still on probation. Please, I want this job.
So
don't tell me how to do my job, Mr. Beefy. Joe's going to be the hot seat leader, not me. Okay, we're gonna play a little bit game later with Joe, but tune in for that. He has no idea.
I don't know why I agreed to this.
because you're a trooper.
I am a trooper.
You are the tail of the
So
meat.
is she.
Yeah, that's the closest you're gonna get.
Let's see.
Belt looks great on her, and I'm looking forward to Toni and her rematch.
Everything looks great on her.
All right.
Next up was the bathroom break match.
I'm upset Hook won. And it's not because I like Hook. I love Hook, but I don't want him in AEW any longer. Get rid of the FTW title. And Hook, I want to see him on NXT television.
It was a feel-good moment for Taz, putting the Taz mission. Kacha Hajime.
Yeah.
Pulling that out.
Pull on the heartstrings.
The next match after that, I gave 0 fucks about.
This is the part of the show where I stop really paying attention.
And
I just do other things.
It is no fault of FTR.
No, not at all.
Um,
But when you how many times are you going to see the Bucks and FTR and the
or any combination of
any combat? Yeah, I'm over it. I love FTR. I still think to this day they are the top tag team in the world. My opinion, and my opinion alone. But not only was it a predictable outcome, I'm not sure what else to really say about this match.
It happened. The Bucks won. Next match.
Yeah, that's it. Joe, I know you are a big Bucks fan. I know you love Matthew and Nicholas. Your thoughts before we move on to the next match.
Goldberg for president.
Fuck off.
Wow.
Guys can find somebody else to fill this seat.
The next match was the Casino Gauntlet match. I'll read off the order of entry. Pockets, Orange Cassidy.
Ugh.
Okada,
Mm,
Nigel McGuinness, very good feel-good moment.
that was a surprise. Nice pop.
Kyle O'Reilly,
Mm,
Zack Sabre Jr., another good.
That was a nice.
got some
nice.
good talent in here.
Yeah.
Roderick Strong,
Mm,
Mark Briscoe,
Mm.
Hangman Page,
Ugh.
Jeff Jarrett,
Ugh.
Ricochet made his debut here.
Yay.
Christian Cage came out. Final person who was able to come out was Luchasaurus.
You mean kill switch?
No, he came out with Luchasaurus as Luchasaurus.
Did Nigel
Now-
hit the Tower of London at all in this match?
Yes.
Yes, he did. He did.
I would have came out as Desmond Wolf, but that's me.
A lot of people are upset that Ricochet did not win this match in his debut. Jones, I know you're not entirely opposed to him not winning. I'd like you maybe to share your thoughts a little bit about that.
Nobody should win a title shot in their debut. If you're doing that, you have no direction with your company.
But they don't. So was this a win for AEW? Was this a smart thing to do? Is TK booking this correctly?
You had two options here. Legit options. You could have gone. Actually, you technically had three.
I had one who I think should have won.
You have Hangman. You could have gone Nigel because of his story with Bryan Danielson.
Mm-hmm.
And Christian was the right choice.
Joe?
I would have picked Okada. You haven't done nothing with him since he's been there. And I'm sure a lot of people would tune in to see Okada versus Bryan Danielson in a match.
I don't disagree with that. Because really, what has Okada done since he's shown up? Other than, say, sayonara, bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Fro is spot on. That's exactly how I would have had him show up.
That's a good idea.
Makes sense.
Much better than putting him in the match itself and then him
doing a couple spots and that's it. Like
doing his Ricochet type thing, right? Juan says that Ricochet going to AEW isn't anything to scream about. They have way too many guys that does what he does. He certainly fits in, right, with the kind of atmosphere and the mold and the style of wrestling. Is he going to stand out? Are they going to book him any differently than he was booked in WWE?
Despite themselves, yes.
I don't know. I think he's just a fill-in. Just a fill-in on the roster.
Just despite themselves, they will do it.
Everybody's waiting for Ospreay and Ricochet. They were going to tease it, and they did tease it, but not fully. It got interrupted on Dynamite. But I'm looking forward to that if that happens. Pac versus Ricochet would also be, I think, a great match. Any other guys that you'd like to see him wrestle in the near future? Ricochet, yeah.
Put him in there with Leo Rush. Put him in there with Top Flight.
Ricochet and Ray Phoenix would have been fun.
It would have been. It would have been great, but it seems like they're on their way out.
Would have been nice for Ray Phoenix to super kick Ricochet. Super kick is deadly.
Now with Christian Cage winning this, when do you think him and Bryan Danielson are going to have their match? Because we saw on Dynamite this week that Danielson is not retiring just yet. He's not calling it quits, and he is going to be a defending champion. And someone came to that call, even though they had a pre-recorded vignette promo and then attacked him from behind right after the end of that video on Dynamite this week. When's Christian and Danielson going to fight? Because I am looking forward to that match.
Russell Dream.
That's what October.
It's in Washington.
In Danielson's
backyard.
Yeah, that's his area.
That's why I'm calling my. That's because I'm calling my shot. Since he can call a shot whenever he wants. They're already out, Chris. They came out a couple years ago, actually.
Christian should hold on to it for a bit until he wins it. And Danielson should have a 2025 retirement tour. That's an original idea, right? as original as AEW is going to get. But I'm wondering,
not retire until somebody beats him.
That's at least as a full-time competitor. Mm-hmm. Then again, I thought Sting was retired as well, but
he showed up.
He showed up to get a pop at Wembley. But we'll see how long Danielson is healthy. And when he does lose, who is it going to be? And stay tuned to that. I think the next match was.
Hold on 1 second. Remember, Christian has a target on Danielson.
He does.
His father's dead.
That's true. Christian will target anybody who has lost a father figure in their life. But the next match was arguably the match of the night. I think it stole the show.
Will Ospreay versus MJF.
You know what, Joe? Did you hear what MJF said on Dynamite yesterday? Hear what he renounced?
Oh, yeah, his American citizenship.
Something that Jones is going to be doing shortly, soon.
But he said he only calls New York, Long Island, Plainview.
That's where he's from.
Plainview, Long Island, New York.
Yeah. That's like Jones saying he renounces his American citizenship, but he still loves Philly.
Mm-hmm.
That's essentially what's going to happen, because I'm going to take Jones away. Feed him ketchup chips and maple syrup. We're going to ride polar bears together.
Jones like, I denounce my wrestling citizenship, but I still claim Hulk Hogan.
What?
Thank you, everybody, for watching. He did say Hulk Hogan, though. He didn't say the other name. But still, I wouldn't have gone there, Joe.
Okay. Ahmed Johnson. I'm sorry.
Oh. Yeah, Sting.
Remember TK calling Sting. Sting, I need you to make it Wembley. Hey, I'm retired. $5 million? Okay, I'll be there. Booking a flight now.
Fro says, so in that retirement storyline, will they have someone like Ospreay swerve or gotta say, I'm sorry, I love you, and take his head off? God, I hope so.
You imagine?
But that MJF Osprey match, I think it was the only thing I can say negative about it, at least in my opinion, is that the ending was somewhat predictable. I figured that, and we talked about this when he debuted the American title. This was just a gimmick belt. This was something short term, and Osprey was likely going to win. I think all of us said that he was going to win in London. But how he won with the Tiger Driver
91.
and
Thanks to Brian Daniels.
thanks to Bryan Danielson.
And when he got the regular belt back, it felt very WrestleMania-like.
Christopher Daniels like, here you go.
When Kofi was handed the WWF Championship.
Yeah.
Instead of the eco-friendly championship.
I really hope Bryan Danielson has an eco-friendly
AEW
title. I don't have any more room on my shelf, but I will buy one.
I don't understand. Like, that would actually be kind of cool.
It, with all the swirls and the designs and the side plates. You imagine wooden side plates?
Ugh.
Plus, that heel run was good.
Can you imagine a maker carving that?
Bro, it's not carved. It's engraved. It's CNC. It's God.
Just hope the edges are burnished.
I don't know if they will. Some people are edging their WCW.
Hope the edges are burnished?
Yeah. It's a thing these days, apparently. Jones, are all your leathered belts, are the edges burnished? No? You know, since we're talking about Canada a lot tonight, my pal Reggie, he didn't burnish his edges. So there's some controversy, Jones, about whether or not a belt is truly finished or not, if its edges are not burnished. This is what neckbeards in their mother's basement talk about daily on these forums.
I'm here to talk about wrestling. I can give two shits about belts.
Exactly. I still need that reveal though, one of these days. Oh.
I keep promises.
There you go, ladies.
Well, how nonchalant that was. I'm just like, oh.
That was an impulse purchase.
It definitely was, but hey.
Kind of wish Jeff Jarrett would be Sting's last match and also retire Danielson. He's the official last match guy. It's an interesting perspective there, Fro. Last but not least, the main event. I know, Jones, you were quite upset with Swerve.
Can't believe you guys are skipping over Mercedes Moné and
Right, that definitely wasn't the next match.
It was, wasn't it? Yeah, fuck. I tried to forget that this match even happened because was that the worst women's match in AEW history?
It's up there, but I won't say it's the worst.
It's top 3. I can't think of it off the top of my head. That was horrendous.
What is the best one? Thunder Rosa versus Britt Baker in the.
I would say, yeah, in the Lights Out match.
Mm-hmm.
That was by far the best women's match, in my opinion, in AEW history. But I gotta say, as much as we have been trashing Mercedes Moné, I don't think it was entirely her fault.
I'm not blaming her at all.
Nope.
I'm actually going to go on here and say kudos to you. I'm glad Tony Khan paid you all that money because I don't care who you can clip this, send it to her, whatever. Miss Baker, Don't quit your day job because this hobby of yours ain't working.
I'm glad she's a dentist.
Go. You bet on yourself and went to AEW with the first woman signed. You should have denied it and went to NXT and actually learned how to wrestle. You sandbagged the hell out of Mercedes.
And she has accused others. Thunder Rosa, Joe, to your point, bring up Thunder Rosa, accused Thunder Rosa of sandbagging with their beef. And yet you put on that kind of a performance. You're slow, you're dead weight.
No. Here's where I'll defend her slightly. Other people told me I shouldn't have do so, but I'm going to give you an out, but you should have taken that out and postponed this match till later. Yes, you just came over an injury and a life-threatening situation. You should have had a few more reps in before you jumped into a match like this.
Oh, agree.
With the talent like that.
Absolutely.
Like, there's Mercedes may be trash on the mic. She's money in the ring. She can actually wrestle. She gets injured, yes. But if she got injured off of this, it would have been completely your fault for not for taking the match.
Yeah.
This should have been Jamie Hayter's spot. She shouldn't have been in that match on the pre-show.
Yeah.
Jamie Hayter should have been right there and been an open challenge.
Absolutely agree. Why bring back Hayter on a pre-show? And if Britt needed more time,
give it to her. Like, nobody would have been mad at you.
This match did not have to happen at all. Then there's no reason. It could have happened at any of the other pay-per-views. You could extended this feud at the end of the year. It could have been World's End.
Exactly.
That could have been right. Your pay.
You would have got a few more reps in. You'd have been fine. You'd have been more comfortable. But there's two spots in the match I want you all to look at. Go back and watch when she did the Panama Sunrise. You can see Mercedes did all the work on that one. And look how Britt was dead weight during the Three Amigos.
Yeah. It's just
you're going to say the Spanish fly type.
To Juan's point in the comments, he says there have been worse ones on Darker Elevation. But here's the thing, Juan. That's Darker Elevation. That's not All In.
Not a major pay-per-view for AEW.
Yeah. This isn't. Those matches weren't at Wembley in front of 55,000 people, right? Like, horrible, man. Absolutely horrible.
Yeah, that you don't do that on Wembley. You do that on a Dark, on Elevation, or you even do it at a Rampage.
Yeah.
A Collision.
Yeah.
Maybe Dynamite. Maybe.
Kind of like when WWE was like, "Hey, Punk, first match is going to be at a house show with Dominic."
Exactly.
So, yeah. Let them warm up a bit.
Because that way you got more time. You can take as long as you want, and then we can get you down to TV time.
Everything's great, though. Everything's fine. Everything's great.
The locker room's amazing.
Yeah.
Compared to a year ago.
Yeah. Everything is so much better. All the show, especially Collision, Joe. Collision is so much more easy to navigate and to book.
Oh, TK.
When will he learn? And then finally, Jones's heart was broken. His favorite AEW champion of all time.
Yep.
Swerve Strickland against
Nope. You're still skipping trash.
Am I really?
The coffin match.
Oh, fuck. See, I'm not even thinking about it.
Can we skip half this shit?
I just want to get to the meat and the potato.
At this point.
Oh, get to the end.
I wish. Oh, all right. Fine. Fucking 150-pound bird shit Jack Perry against Darby Allin in a coffin match.
And their match got cut short.
Yes.
Because of the curfew in London.
Thank God for the curfew. Thank God.
This match was unnecessary for me. I really don't care about either person as a wrestler. That neither one of them really do anything for me. So maybe there's somebody else's cup of tea. More power to you. Go for it. Both teams played hard. Jack Perry won.
Jack Perry
Thanks,
had to defend his little custom TNT title. So he's a badass. He uses real glass. He had to, look into the camera when he poured that bag out and, rah, fuck you, CM Punk, and I'll do what I want.
I find it hilarious London has a curfew.
Wait, who did he fight last year at All In?
He was on the pre-show with Hook, if I'm not mistaken. Was he not?
Because it was the car spot, right?
It was a car spot, and that's where he's like, real glass.
Either way, Jack Perry wins.
He wins, and he's your TNT champion.
Yay.
I want to.
Yeah, West Hook. I had to look it up.
Yeah. And then last but not least is the main event. Did I skip any more shit?
If you did, I'm not
Okay.
stopping.
Okay. Last but not least, Swerve versus Danielson, title versus career.
That makes sense then.
I get it. Absolutely.
Thank you, Juan.
Juan's got the facts, bro.
Stop trying to steal people's spots from the show, Juan. If you just want to get on the show, just talk to one of us.
Absolutely. This is the end result of said match. And I am ecstatic. I'm actually looking forward to this reign because, for one, I think the belt looks incredible on Danielson. I think it suits him, even the current version of it. And I'm not necessarily a fan of this version 3 of the title, but it looks like it was meant for Danielson.
I just am not a fan of the side plates yet because they aren't metal.
No, they're Lexan.
Because they just look, and at least make them the same color.
Yeah. Although, if you looked at Danielson's side plates, they look decent. They look pretty good. I know Red Leather made those. But, yeah. I hope Danielson holds the title for as long as he is healthy.
Yeah, as long as his body doesn't give out on him, he can continue to.
I think he can actually be a world champion, and he can defend this all over. They tried to do it with Moxley, and Moxley was the IWGP champion for a while, but I think Danielson's the guy to hold the title and to defend it globally.
I want to see him and Zack Sabre Jr. champion versus champion in the Tokyo Dome.
That's how you put butts in seats.
I will stay up and watch that match.
3:00 in the morning, 4:00. No, probably a little bit later. If it's the main event, it might be about 5 or 6.
5 or 6, yeah.
Yeah. I used to when New Japan was in its glory days, I'd be watching Okada and Omega at 6 a.m.
Yep. I still will want to work and be like, okay, that was amazing.
Yep. I miss those days. Just like Juan and Mr. Beefy missed me uploading these pictures. Do we still have you guys? Are you still here?
Woo!
Okay.
The viewership just went back up. So, yeah, they're here.
Oh. Hey, this is why I do it. I do it for the fans. I do it for the viewers.
All right,
Without you, there's no show.
Sure, Triple H. That's what we're doing. You're watching the tweets.
Mr. B was like, "Yep, I'm here. Here."
He's like,
disappeared for a moment, but quickly came back. I wonder. I know what I'm doing.
So then we go to Raw, I guess.
Yeah. Full disclaimer: I watched maybe 30 minutes of Raw this week. So you guys
Raw was decent. It was just it was a typical Raw. It was a go home show. So but it was pretty good for a go home show.
Bronson Reed and Braun. You know.
Amazingly done.
Except when Braun's laying there on the
car.
vehicle, you see him lift up and he's looking over. He's like, "Jump on me." Oh, I wish. I don't think the camera angle could have, unless they panned in a little bit more. But Braun should have just laid there.
That was one of the few times recently they've had a bad camera angle.
Yeah, that was that. The camera angle could have fixed it, but Braun could have fixed it too by just laying there.
Punk going live right before attacking Drew from going out.
See, I stopped watching for a second. I got my son ready for bed, and then my phone, it gets a notification, and it's my Instagram. It says CM Punk is live right now. I'm like, what? What's going on? So I click my phone. And I'm like, holy shit, it's darkness. Like, what is going on? Did you do this by accident? Monday Night Raw is on. So then I was able to tune in a little bit afterwards and see what was going on. But that was good. That's how you incorporate social media into a live show.
This is the reality era.
Yeah. Uncle Howdy versus Chad Gable to end Raw.
Good match.
It was a good match.
Good
I don't know how I feel about. I like the dreads that he had. To me, it was a better representation or a better homage, in a sense, to Bray. But I don't mind it. I just think it's a little bit too wispy. I'm nitpicking, but when he's wrestling, it's just a little bit too.
He's incorporating a lot of Bray's moves and instincts in the ring.
Yeah,
absolutely. His mannerisms are eerily like his brother's. When he was dancing with Chad, like Bray did with Cena, it was a really nice touch. This guy hasn't wrestled in how many years?
But I'll go back and say this. It was always said that Taylor was the better wrestler.
Absolutely.
Remember him in NXT, him and Pac, Neville, the ladder match for the NXT title. Remember when he eliminated Wade Barrett in the Rumble? I thought, like, yo, okay.
And Wyndham was always the better entertainer. All you got to do is believe. What do we have next? NXT, pretty much a go-home show for No Mercy. The cliffhanger I'm trying to figure out is who the hell were they looking at?
Oh, with Roxanne?
When Roxy got slapped. There's a few different names they could be throwing at you.
Who do you think it is?
I don't know, because there's a few they've done a few signings and they haven't appeared. Oh, and shout out to Rosemary for being there.
Yo.
Oh, that was nice.
Could it be Cora Jade?
Ooh.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Still?
No, that would make sense for Roxy looking so shocked. And Jada brushing her off.
You know what's crazy? We've talked about this plenty of times on the show. About the NXT women, like when Charlotte, Bayley, Sasha Beck came up, who was the next crop? Then they had that crop. Then Tiffany Stratton, that crop came up. This crop is showing out. They're working their ways. Like Jada, Kalani, like
the list goes on and on.
You got Lash, you got Lash Legend who's waiting. You got Roxy who's ready.
But it's like they don't rebuild; they just reload.
Exactly. It's like they put in the cheat code. They put in the contra code. There's unlimited ammo. About to say you got Stephanie Vakir waiting to debut. You have Julia waiting to debut. You have Delta waiting to debut. There was another name who's rumored to be getting signed, who's actually in Berlin. So there's a few names waiting to be signed who've already been signed, waiting to debut. So, oh wait, and we got the Olympian. She's been training.
Oh, that's right.
And who knows from TNA that could be showing up
With the crossover that's been happening for a little while now. There is so much potential for the NXT women and men. Yeah, like you said, Joe, the next crop of talent coming up to the main roster is huge. WWE is prepared for years to come with the amount of talent that they have.
Well, so you already got your next big thing waiting in the wings already.
Yeah. Oh, is that the Tyra May Steele? Joe?
I think so, yeah.
She was on Level Up.
And then you got Tavion Heights made a name for himself over in Japan. They love him. I saw highlights of the matches. The kids got star potential. He's an Olympian as well. So there's no drop off.
Yeah. Just need some fine tuning, some experience, some time.
And you're getting exposure on the CW very soon.
Yeah. They're in good hands. Really good hands. And I guarantee once they jump over to CW, you're going to see a nice jump in ratings. And it's certainly going to be higher than 698,000.
And you already saw I've already seen 2 names that are going to be on 2 of the first 2 episodes on CW.
Yeah. When you're bringing Punk and Orton.
And Randy.
Dude, it's.
I'll be watching.
Oh, 100%. Absolutely. So that's Raw, and then Dynamite. Briefly.
Dynamite.
I've got a video that can kind of summarize what happened, if you guys don't mind. I take no credit for this. This is from the Twitter handle AEW Awful.
Listen to me. This is not your company anymore.
Back to the celebration. Let's go.
And that was it.
Well, damn.
When they zoomed on that dude with the CM Punk shirt, I was like, why are they zooming?
Fire that
I
cameraman
thought there was
lost
like a
his
celebrity in the front row or something. Like,
thought. It was so out of place and so awkward. Oh my gosh, dude, it was bad. It was bad. Is there any Jones? I know we talked about this a little bit. Who the hell was Moxley talking about? He said to Shivani, "This is not your company anymore."
DK.
Did he get the wrong? Did he mix up Tony?
No, you got to remember, Tony Schiavone is the equivalent of WWE's Michael Cole.
Oh,
He has the earpiece to the boss.
oh,
So therefore, he was talking directly to the boss the best way he could without seeing him.
so we're saying to Tony Khan, "This is not your company anymore."
Yeah,
So whose company is
They're
it?
going to do an invasion.
it's an invasion. And we're not talking about Mercedes.
Is that who? Is that who's coming?
That's why I'm thinking.
Joe, are they going to do an invasion angle again?
The right way, hopefully.
Oh, God.
That invasion angle was not bad. They just didn't have the big stars.
Well, they
Still
got they have plenty of ex-WWE talent on this roster. They
Still
can
fun
actually
pay-per-view to attend, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Seeing Trish almost fall through that hole in the middle. Live.
Is this what they're doing? Is this the Shane McMahon?
Shane McMahon will get more eyes on the product than Tony Khan would. Tony Khan needs to go to be.
Bro, is he going to wrestle, though?
He doesn't have to wrestle. He can just be. Or
He doesn't have to wrestle.
beat
I
up,
now own ROH.
yeah, beat up Tony Khan. Get him off air. Tony's injured, goes away. He can be behind the scenes and worry about cutting checks instead of being an on-air character.
So you're saying Tony's going to come back, give a speech, my life was in danger?
He had no choice, and he had to bring in Shane O'Mac. Speaking of Shane, I wonder if he was interviewed for this Vince McMahon documentary that's coming out at the end of September. I'd love to hear what Shane has to say about his old man.
That's my pops, but he's an asshole.
Oh man, you guys are watching that?
They're gonna block his face and the voice, but you're gonna see the way you're gonna know it's him.
You see the silhouette of his hair. He's dancing. He's skipping.
He's going to stand up, and it's not going. And the blurry image is not going to move.
Now come interviewing this guy.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope that happens. I'd love to hear what Shane has to say, because I think Shane's the black sheep of the family. He's just. God, can you imagine Thanksgiving or Christmas at the McMahons? Especially when this documentary drops. I hope it's not too biased.
Hey, pal, did you see this? Some good shit.
God.
It's either going to be full lies or completely truthful.
Yeah.
There is no medium.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see which family members were
long lost family members. His sister's brother. Brother.
Yeah.
Remember I said brother.
And then we'll see which wrestlers they grabbed to talk about it.
Ric Flair is guaranteed.
Hulk Hogan.
Yep.
Jesse. Sure.
Oh, I hope Jesse and Brett were both chosen to talk about Vince.
If Flair doesn't get picked, he's gonna go on a tyrant like the Who Killed WCW.
Tweeting and Instagramming, and every first letter of every word is going to be capitalized. Oh man,
Flair's gonna be like, they cut my scenes. If they had kept my scenes in, it would have been the best documentary ever.
Be interesting to see if guys like, I don't think Bischoff would.
Brother Bruce, pumpkin head.
I hope you get Jim Cornette.
Oh, absolutely.
Russo
and Cornette.
I wish you could get somebody like the Undertaker to say something.
Yeah. Although I think he highly.
He'd be biased, but it's like, but you need both sides.
You do. And so if it is going to be fair, you do need someone like Mark Calloway. You need someone like Hulk Hogan. And you need those like Jesse Ventura and Bret Hart.
If they had waited, they could have got Lashley's opinion.
Yeah.
I can guarantee Meltzer will be a part of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I wonder how many stars he's going to give the documentary.
Well, if he's in it, 5.
2 stars because it didn't include AEW in it.
Yeah.
It's funny.
It'll be interesting. Nevertheless, Mr. Beefy, I think Russo will certainly do it if he was approached. Cornette, he's been a part of a lot of the Dark Side segments, so I can see him maybe having some involvement. I know this is with Netflix, but
Jericho.
Great. Chris Jericho. Yeah, I can see that too.
Demolition will be in it. Everyone who's part of the concussion lawsuit will be in it.
Yeah.
Is there anything else we need to cover?
I mean, we lose the WWE legend.
Well, I think it ties in. Actually, it's a good segue from what we're talking about. You're having all these legends that are going to be talking about Vince McMahon, right? And you're going to get different perspectives and opinions. But a lot of the time, you don't get to hear a lot of the perspective or opinions of certain guys. Or when it comes to things like the Hall of Fame, a lot of people aren't inducted into the Hall of Fame while they're alive. And Sid Vicious certainly was one of those wrestlers that didn't get a chance to be inducted while he was still living. Mm-hmm. So man, wrestling, the wrestling world's losing a lot of talent and has lost a lot of talent over this year alone. But Sid was 63.
Yeah.
63 years young. And I think this is one of the, in my opinion, one of the biggest losses that the wrestling world has experienced. Sid is there's so many things that you could talk about Sid. When I think of Sid Vicious, one of my first memories of Sid was Sid and Vader confronted Sting and the Bulldog.
Oh, on the beach.
On the beach.
The Masters of the Powerbomb.
Was that the beach blast match?
Yeah, dude, I remember seeing Sid in his flip flops, and he's got his wrestling gear on, and he's cutting his promo. And that segment was better than any movie Hulk Hogan was ever in. Like it was great. But man, like there's so many things that you can say about Sid. Yeah. What are some of your fondest memories or moments with Sid Vicious?
We talking comedy or we talking straight?
Just in general. Whatever comes to mind. What are some of your most beloved memories?
Survivor Series.
Yeah. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Joe, I think Sid's the only guy to take the heavyweight title off of both Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels.
Correct.
That says something.
And didn't he beat them both in back-to-back pay-per-views?
No, yeah, because Sid won the title at 96 Survivor Series. Then the next pay-per-view, he beats Bret.
Yeah.
With interference from the boy toy.
Also enjoyed Halloween Havoc 1990.
Oh, him and Sting, the Barry Windham switch.
Barry Windham switcheroo. I was the kid who was cheering for Sid. I was happy. I thought he really won the championship, only for Sting to come back and take it back from him.
Barry Windham was a good Sting, man. Kind of
Yeah,
no, man. He played the part. He looked really good.
You know, it's funny. Comedic. I think it's the Shockmaster because when he goes to the wall, Sid's, you could hear Sid saying, "Oh God," like as soon as he fell.
Or more comedic. Let's take that again. We're off, kid.
Or when he was in WCW and he's like, "If I had half the brain that you have."
Or when Goldberg supposedly trashed his card.
Yeah.
Goldberg!
Oh my gosh.
Sid, like my earliest memories of Sid was with Skyscrapers with Dan Spivey.
Yeah.
I remember I also had Wrestle War 91, the VHS, when he powerbombs Brian Pillman, drops him on his neck, basically. But here's something that's crazy. Like, the Royal Rumble 92, when he eliminates Hogan, there was a pop in the crowd.
Oh my God.
But you watch it, they edited out the crowd.
Yep,
pop.
absolutely they do, because everyone was cheering for Sid.
Yeah. Or Sid trashing the barber shop and then the just explodes in his face. He's got white powder all over his face. Hogan!
Oh my gosh.
I curse you, Hogan. I curse you.
And technically, this is comedy. The fact that he was the first person to kick out of the Hogan leg drop.
Yeah.
That's right. Booker T on his podcast and in his book, you could tell how much he loved Sid. And if you get a chance to go, and if any of our viewers watch Booker T's,
there's a lot of like what ifs with Sid, because when he went back to WCW, him and Vader, Masters of the Powerbomb, he was supposed to beat Vader for the title at that Starrcade, put him in the torture rack.
Yeah.
Based on tapings. But, him and Arn Anderson got to a little altercation with scissors. And, Sid was gone. Goes WWE. Leaves for a little bit, comes back. because Warrior doesn't want to show up for his dates.
Surprise, surprise.
But then you look at it like at Survivor Series 96, that was supposed to be Vader's spot where Vader wins the title. But Sid gets put in that spot, and the crowd just cheered for Sid and booed HBK.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Sid was,
Let's say, 2-time WCW champion, 2-time WWE champion,
yeah.
WWF champion,
Yeah.
1-time US champion, and I think 2-time AWA champion.
I don't
I
think he
believe
was
so.
AWA.
I think
Let's find out.
I think it was like an AWF or something, but
maybe you're right, Joe.
I don't think he was ever in AWA.
Either way,
Oh, here's a fun fact. Sid was supposed to take the snake bite from Jake Roberts,
that's right. He was
but he injured his triceps in a match.
really upsetting to see because I think they'll do the right thing, and I say that, and they'll be inducting him in the 2025 Hall of Fame category. But it would have been nice for him to have been alive to see it.
Yeah, same for Vader.
Yeah, it means a lot to a lot of these guys. I know it doesn't mean a lot to everybody, but I think a guy like Sid certainly should have gotten his flowers and recognition with the Hall of Fame, and I think it would have meant something to him, at least based on everything he has said in past.
You're gonna make me watch that Masters of the Powerbomb match with Beach Blast.
You gotta go back, dude. It's
But I'm gonna watch that match, but also there's an awesome match on that card where Ricky Steamboat and Rick Rude, I think, goes to a time limit draw.
I don't remember.
That sounds about right.
Mm-hmm.
But rest in peace to Sid Udy.
Oh, there's another death I just saw.
Sid
Oh.
Vicious, Sid Justice.
Viano 5 died.
Oh,
Really?
Yep.
Cruiserweight.
So, rest in peace to him. And
As long as Cyclopay's still good, I'm fine. Or El Dandy.
Oh, man.
El Dandy was the worst.
Every time I hear El
ever.
Dandy, I think of Bret Hart on Thunder with the Mean Gene.
Yeah.
You know who I'm gonna give? El Dandy. El Dandy's a fine wrestler.
It's like, what? Where are you high?
Oh my gosh.
Do we have time for the game?
I think we definitely do. Joey, you don't know
Sure.
anything about this game.
No, I don't.
I messaged Jones before I messaged our PTM group chat. And I said to Jones, Joey's an encyclopedia. I think this would be fun. I think Joe will do really well in this game. Joe, I'm not setting you up for failure. Jones, am I?
No.
I think, Joe, this is a game that you, of all people, I've known you now for a number of years. I think you would be the very best at this game. So I'm not setting you up for any kind of failure or to embarrass you or to do anything like that. Okay. I think, Joe, I'm going to send this link to you, but the one thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have to share your screen, present your screen with the audience so we can see your input. Joe, I'm going to send this to you directly on Messenger.
I'm gonna share this.
Okay. Let's see. Where's Joe?
How do I share this stupid thing?
So present on the bottom. Once you open up the link that I just sent you on Messenger, open up your Messenger.
Oh yeah. You're funny, Mr. Beefy. Not happening.
Those are in private browsers.
Yeah, that's in guest mode or private. Yeah.
Private viewing.
So the game, ladies and gentlemen, Joe, that you are going to be playing is you're going to have 8 minutes. 8 minutes, Joe, to list as many of the WWF champions that you can from 1963 all the way up to 2024. Joe, so without further ado, if you could share your screen with the audience.
Hold on.
It's closing tabs.
Would like to
Yes.
record this computer screen and audio.
It's also clearing his cache and his history.
You saw nothing.
Okay.
The Pornhub was mine.
Can you guys see it?
Oh,
I can see it. So, Joe, if you can click the start and when you are ready, sir,
Oh, shit.
you have 8 minutes, sir, starting now.
All right.
Joe, I think with this game, you can do keywords. So you can just do first names or last names, and I think it will help. It'll input it. So if you just type in Bruno, you can just type in Bruno. It should do it.
Oh, my God. Okay, hold on.
The audience cannot help you, Joe. This is entirely
it's up to you.
On
You can
you.
do it.
There's no phone a friend. There's no lifeline. I think you're almost going in order. Look at this. Holy shit. No pressure, Joe. Mr. Beefy did this last week and said he finished it in 2 minutes.
He said he had a perfected score.
Yeah. He did it in order, backwards.
Sure he did.
There are 6 minutes and 45 seconds on the clock.
And he's chipping away at that pretty well. 14
Yeah,
out of
he is.
55 so far.
He has
15.
successfully
69
knocked off-
seconds. Appropriate for you, Mr. Beefy. Appropriate.
Wow, almost 2 decades in a matter of a minute and a half.
He's almost halfway there.
He is 6 minutes and counting. Joe, you've got good time.
Hold on. Um, 2000.
Watch him fly now.
So we're halfway through.
I don't know why. Ah, bastard.
5 minutes and 20 seconds left. No pressure, no pressure. You got this, Joe.
He's got 37 so far. 38.
8 out of 55. 39. He's got this. This might be a record time. Mr. Beefy,
No.
I don't think you can beat Joe.
He used the cheat code. He typed in all of them and it popped up.
What? Oh my God.
King J. Sean, what's up, bro?
Up.
Joe is playing a game right now. He has 8 minutes on the clock to list all of the WWF, WWE champions from 1963 to the current day. He has 40 out of 55 with 4 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock.
Hold on. 2001. Why am I drawing a blank in 2001? Hold on.
Mm-hmm. Wasn't but so many.
Oh. Duh. Stupid. Batista, Sheamus. Oh
We have 4 minutes on the clock.
no. Can there be multiple?
King J. Sean believes in you.
Thank you.
You got this, Joey.
Yeah.
There we go.
Of course, he got most of the 80s and the 90s.
Yeah.
Ease.
What? 2024.
WWE. There we go.
I was about to say, really?
Oh, trying to think.
I said that is definitely one you should have gotten with the new.
I don't want to give you any hints because then I would be cheating. But
16. That was
3 minutes to get to 50.
you're almost there, Joe.
Come on, 2016. Hold on. How? Oh, I already got him. Duh.
Panic mode kicked in. No!
It's setting in. Joe, you're sweating a little bit, buddy.
No, just trying to figure this out.
We've got 2 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock. 46 out of 55.
2016. That was Roman Dean. Who was after Dean? 2016. Duh.
That would have been the first one Jones put down.
No, of course it would.
Like
2017.
2025, AJ Styles.
2021, I'm trying not to remember. 2021 was COVID. 19.
It was.
When the 2019 Rumble, that was wrong. Oh.
Joe, you've got Joe Hendry cheering you on. We've got 1 minute and 30 seconds on the clock.
I know.
47 out of 55, Joe.
I'm trying to get the last four going.
50 spot.
I'm going to kick myself when I don't get it right. 17. Who beat Bray? I'm thinking of wrestlers. Why am I drawing a blank?
We have 1 minute on the clock, Joe.
I had to bite my tongue. I almost said something.
Oh my God, why can't I?
The end is here. The game is over. No more pretending. No more.
30 seconds on the clock, Joe.
I know.
The end is here.
Daniel Bryan.
The end is here.
Yeah, I'm not going to get him.
The end
15 seconds. Any guesses, Joe? There we go. 9 seconds. 4.
One more.
No.
Damn it.
Round of applause.
Jinder and Bobby.
Jinder and Bobby. People of color you didn't get, Joe.
No, he doesn't like the brown people.
That's exactly what
We're going to get Buddy, Ivan, Pedro, Stan.
Stand
Joe,
up, Steve Jack.
Joe, I think you did really, really well. I think you deserve another round of applause. So that's fantastic.
If you had missed the Miz, I would have disowned you. Especially
Joe,
considering where he's from. If you had missed him, it would have been over.
90s, I could just run through easy.
You were like in order. Actually, from about 78 onwards.
Yeah. He was like, beep, 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 beep.
78 to about 95, 96. You got them 2 decades, bro. But yeah, let's switch it up a little bit. We're gonna have some fun with each other and with those watching.
Thank you, King Jayshawn.
He did do phenomenal.
Yeah, I forgot AJ. I'd have been very upset.
I'm going through 90s.
Mm-hmm.
I could tell you who beat them, what pay-per-view. You know.
All right, when you
Fine.
were saying who was after Dean, I'm just looking at you like, who was after Dean?
The house that AJ Styles built, the face that runs the place. No,
Just
so
like-
you know, when I go through the years, I start at the Rumble, and I'm thinking like, okay,
Yeah. Joey, I think you did better than I certainly would have done. Jones, how do you think you would have done in that game?
Probably would land it right about the same.
Yeah. Well done, sir. Well done.
thank you.
A little bit later than our usual time, but boys, it's always a pleasure to share this thing with you and with the millions and millions of people watching around the world. Any final thoughts and words of wisdom from the master and the ruler of PTM,
OTC.
Mr. Joey V, and the OTM, the head of the meet?
The belt
My
ain't
tribal.
sold out for me. It's sold out for y'all, but it ain't sold out for me.
We love you guys. Thank you for watching. Yes,
Jones-
it's been a good sport.
Jones wouldn't have that belt if I didn't cancel his flight.
Son of a bitch.
Thank you guys, and have a good night.